Look at you.
Sorry, y'all.
Peace and light to the family. Welcome to another episode of Phresh Pharaoh Entertainment. We're your host. I'm Phresh Pharaoh.
It's your boy Don the Ascended.
Boy, Rod the Guy coming after another banger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And today we have two special guests, not just two special guests, but two beautiful queens on our show today who will introduce themselves and talk about what they do before we break down today's topic. Y'all can introduce yourself in whatever order y'all.
But what's up, everybody? Peace and blessings. It's Sydney Oshuna. I am a poet, film producer, entrepreneur, one of the creators of the Young Women's Circle, and glad to be here today.
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm Prana. I'm a musician, singer, songwriter. I'm learning guitar. I play piano. I'm a circus aerialist. I give great massages. You need spiritual readings, get at me. All the way around, whatever you need. I'm your girl. Oh, and I make homemade body butters, organic body butters, 100% natural body creams. So if you need that, I'm your girl. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Resume, okay, man.
Thank y'all for being here. Before we get started, did you say circus aerialist?
Yes.
I heard it too.
It was a show. It was a show I did sophomore year, and we learned circus aerials. I learned silks and trapeze and cage dance at this theater convention we have every year called ThesCon. I took classes there, and then they had professional aerialists come train us at school for the show.
What? That's crazy.
Your resume is crazy.
I played the tuba. So on today's topic, this episode is called Pharaoh Talk Volume 2. If you checked into the last episode, that's what's up. It's another rendition of that. And we're breaking down everything that's been going on regarding life and everything going on in the world, from the protests, from the marches to the Black Lives Matter movement. We're gonna really tap into some spiritual, metaphysical, and occult science today. So let's jump right into it, man. So go ahead, start now. You want to start us off, brother?
I mean, you know me. I always like to start off with a little group, discussion question type thing. I just want to know how y'all feel about, everything that's going on, just personally, in you all's lives.
Well, I think, me, I'm always real optimistic on these things. Cause as soon as I hear something, I'm gonna go research into deepest dark depths and be like, well, you know what I found, and I make a lot of people scared with what I come up with. And so people be thinking that I'm like an agent half the time. They be like, man, what he know? He over here doing some spooky stuff. But I like to get all the pieces I can to decipher what's really going on. Because I'm a firm believer in the as above, so below. Because there are direct correlations to things that go on in our solar system and on the cosmic level that attribute directly to what's going on down here. And I find that the best way to intertwine the realms. You dig what I'm saying? Right?
Yes. So I was just listening.
See, with me, I'm just like, I try to take it all in and see what I can get out of it. Because on one hand, for once again, we see more of our brothers and sisters getting gunned down, beaten like they are like some worthless like cattle or something like that. Like they ain't even human no more. On the other hand, the same pain that we're feeling, more people as time going on is realizing, oh my goodness, they're not treated like this worse. It's like, of course, it's happened for a long time, but some people can always have the excuse like, I didn't realize. What's it called? It may not be that bad. Maybe both sides. No, they're seeing it like for themselves, how ruthlessly they're killing and beating these people, and that we're tired of it. We're trying to fight back and create some better us for our future, for our kids, grandkids, and generations. And so I'm just looking at both sides of it. Like this can really change moving forward.
Yeah. And this is the generation that has to change everything. We are the group of people who are going to completely shift everything. And it's like, as a whole, we fail to see the domino effect. As a whole, we fail to connect all of the dots. As a whole, we fail to watch these movies and dig deeper, because everything that you see on TV is directly connected to something that's either happened already or it's going to happen. There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Facts.
Everything that's happening is written down, and we're not, as a whole, we're not piecing everything together. And instead of acting
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I had a train of thought and I lost it.
Like
I feel like it's
That's how you know you tapped in.
it's just us trying to find a balance right now, you know? And it's like, what do you do? And not only is it a balance for you individually, but it's a balance for everybody around you. Just trying to figure out, what do we do next? You know, I think as someone who works with younger kids, and I'm the oldest of a lot of siblings, it's like, what do I tell them? Oh, how do I give that information to such a young group and such a, I don't know, they're developing, and just for them to have to feel, it's a lot, not only for myself, but just everybody else around me. So just finding balance.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely
Just
agree with you.
act out of something. Just acting because now I'm pissed. I'm just doing this because I'm mad now. Instead of actually sitting down and mapping stuff out. Sit down, writing things out. Sit down and strategize together. Because that's when we're most powerful, when we're spiritually in tune, physically in tune, and we have strategy.
We got a lot of undirected. We got a lot of like undirected energy, you know, within the people right now, and
no
you
real
see
leader.
that exactly. You know, you hit the nail on the head, because you see these people going out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? And what they're doing, maybe they're not going about it the best way, but what they're showing you is that they are upset and they have a lot of emotions that are unchecked right now. And there's no one really to funnel that into a constructive way. And so when you don't have that leadership, you know, that guidance to create something constructive, that's when you get the destructive behaviors. And, you know, it's not people just out here doing things, you know, just to do it. It's the fact that, you know, we've tried, you know, for years and years, we've tried to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? And that hasn't been working. You know, our Black youth, our Black elders, they still see people that look like them, you know, get assassinated in the street. They still see the discrimination. They still see the imbalances. And so now they're like, okay, you tried it your way. That didn't work. Now we're going to try it our way. And, you know, this is what we get. You know, unfortunately, this is just the result of years of trauma. You know, this is the result of years of pain. And, you know, this is what it's come to. So now we really got to, you know, organize and find structure within the community, and find structure in order to push us towards doing something constructive.
No justice, no peace.
To me, hold on, I lost my train of thought. Give me like 2 seconds.
Key is to focus on one object until your brain re-rattles what it was thinking about.
I had like so much going. Oh, it came to me. All right. So with me during this time, I'm more focused on this. The protests have been a reoccurring thing over the years. So to me, something isn't changing. So my biggest thing is, what are the solutions, right? What are the tangible solutions that we can create? Because people love talking about breaking away from the system, but don't do nothing to break away from the system. And so I'm like, okay, so what moves are we going to do this time to do this, right?
Right.
And I think that's always the constant thing, because that's when people get so discombobulated, because then you have the divide between people who really don't want to break away from the system, and then you have those that do. And with me, if this is a reoccurring thing, it shows that they truly don't care, and they know that it's going to blow over given due time, and it's just going to take another 10 years of the cycle for it to repeat, because it seems like we stuck in a cipher that's never ending. 360, we just going. And it's just like, all right, give it a few more years, and they'll get pushed again. Yeah, I think so. I think it can end this time too, because we're called Generation Z for a reason, and they ain't got nothing planned after that. So this is the final straw. So to me, I want to have, you know, to me, it's all about becoming self-sufficient. If you want to break away from something, you want to be self-sufficient. So with me, I've been working a lot with food now, like, you know, get a garden so you don't have to lean on these corporations that will close their doors on you in the matter of this, right? Because if you feed someone, they on your side, that's trust. You feed someone an empty stomach, they're gonna follow you to the end of the world. You can give someone money and they won't pay you back. It happen all the time. And they just act like they ain't never knew you. But when you feed someone, you get a bond. Because I've heard the saying that God is in the stomach. You know, so people will do crazy things over food. When you hungry, you'll do some crazy stuff, man. You'll go crazy when you hungry.
And, you know, even piggybacking off of what you just said, I feel like in these times, a lot of corporations, you know, really show who they really are. Because if you ask me, you can't tell me that all these corporations that have something to say about what's going on didn't say something, you know, just because they wanted to keep that black dollar. You feel me? And so you got these huge billion-dollar corporations. If nobody was watching them, you know, if nobody was going to hold them accountable for saying something in these times, then they would be silent right now. You know, it's because of the fact that the people are looking for them to say something, that they have said something in the first place. These corporations that claim, oh, you know, we support Black Lives Matter, this, that, and the third, but you know, for as long as y'all been a company or a corporation, y'all been doing shady stuff that, you know, goes against what you're saying right now. So come on now, like, you know, it don't really take much to put two and two together. Like, oh, they just trying to save face right now. And I truly believe that for a lot of these corporations, that they are just trying to save face, and they don't want to seem like, they don't want to be outed as what they really are.
Put them on the Libra scale, boy. Shut them up. Wait. You know, the feather of my hat, but you put them on the scale. Is what you saying true? Right. If they disappear, they out. They outie, bro.
Weigh your heart against the feather, bro.
And the correlations that I find for the as above, as below, because you can see with our generation is that, well, here's what I put together, that the day everything popped off with the riots and the protests and the looting, which was May 29th, right? And so that same day, the sun was going through a solar minimum where the solar flares were going crazy. And they said the solar flares are a result of a large electromagnetic energy being produced. And if you know the science of melanin, you know that melanin gives off electromagnetic energy. That's why we're able to connect to the earth when we're grounded and earthen. So which showed me was that we as a people tapped into some ancestral DNA, and we popped off, and the sun was like, whoa, hold on now, we popped off one too, man. We was like, so the people, they was invoking them ancestors. Them ancestors was like, man, we ain't here for that BS, bro. Y'all been playing with it too long. Them warriors like, oh yeah, I've been coming out. They was not here for it, man.
Yeah, like didn't they just record like one of the largest coronal mass ejections like ever?
Yeah. It was a solar minimum. And they was claiming they didn't even know what it was. It was like, man, I don't know what's going on. That thing about to blow up. Like the NASA was going crazy. It's no different than when people do global meditations and the UV rays in the sun are 10 times stronger the next day, right? It shows that when the collective hive mind is in tune, that the universe responds to it. That's why I believe in as above, as below, because it's a direct correlation to what's going on out there can reflect what's going on here. That's why I believe astrology is a good indicator of not only time, but people, essentially, more than just I'm this sign, I'm that sign, because you all signs. If you really tap in, you every sign at once. You just might be invoking one at this moment. And when you focus on the real nature of astrology and numerology, you can predict stuff. Like I forget which age we are in now. Is it Aquarius?
Yeah, we leave in the age of Pisces, entering the age of Aquarius.
Right, and that's the age of information. And this is why people are coming into it right now at such a mass rate. So you got people that are actually coming into this knowledge that are like, whoa, I see things for what they are. But then I think, how do we get those people who are coming into it and it's too much for them at once, right? Because someone got to guide them into this knowledge, or they're going to be like, yeah, I'm out, I'm tapping out again. They're going to go right back to sleep again.
You can't overwhelm people. That's
just
one of the biggest
factors. That it's so many different factors, and it's like they seem so different, but they all go back to the same source.
Facts.
Like
I would agree.
Everything is like so much, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed and freak out because it seems like all these different things happening at once, when really it's all the same thing. And that is so mind-blowing to me, how everything is just one.
Everything's interconnected.
Everything is one.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta tap in.
Honestly.
Facts.
Tap
But that's
in,
so
yeah.
much easier said than done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially with like media opinions, and you still got people hating on you, trying to make sure that you don't tap.
Right.
It's-
And I think one of the biggest components is, I think so many people are trying to focus on getting us together, but I think the best way to get us together is to know thyself. Because when someone sees that you tapped into the point where you make a move, they will follow and be like, yo, let me tap in too. Because I think trying to get a herd of people to follow under you, you're going to have you always going to have someone that disagrees with you. And you're just going to have someone that starts their own group, which is why we have so many different opinions now, just because, even with simple things like history, people are going to debate that for the rest of their life. So my thing is, okay, put the history aside. Let's focus on the future then. If we can't agree on the history, hopefully we can agree on the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Why waste time, bickering over our history when at the end of the day, people going to believe what they want to believe. And
Right.
at this point, if we not about bettering ourselves and our own community and really taking our own destiny into our hands and not waiting for somebody else to pick up the pieces for us, then what are we doing? We wasting time.
Facts.
And the best way to change the system is to get into the system.
Mm.
We need people inside, with inside ears, inside eyes.
Facts.
Who can actually do something.
Right.
We need people inside. And the way this country's foundation is, you can't expect something great to come off of a foundation that was garbage to begin with.
Right.
This country was never great to begin with. So until we completely wipe it out and start over, or wipe it out, take our stuff and get out.
Facts. Matter of fact, that leads me to like a whole nother tangent on how deeply rooted this system really is. And it's crazy. And I was talking to the guys yesterday about how crazy. I was listening to a fellow Moore where he was talking about how when a police department is established within a community, they go to a bank and they get an insurance bond, right? That's based off the per capita in that city. What they don't tell you is this bond, they make money off this bond by betting on how many people cops will kill this year. And that's how they make their money. But essentially, that's considered fraud. That's RICO. That's your mob. That's your, the Irishman. So how do they get away with that? They kill Black individuals or Negroes because they, by definition, that's not a true ethnicity, right? You ain't never seen people, we're the Blacks. You know what I'm saying? We're the Negroes. And so they make money off of that. And what goes even deeper is that there are certain stocks like the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ that make money off of our deaths. So the Dow Jones especially, they will go up anywhere between 1 to 15% off of one of us getting killed, and they make profit off of this. So this shows you how deeply ingrained the system is just to try to wipe us out. So how do we begin to destroy something that's so deeply rooted in hate?
That's a good question. One that sounds like a simple answer, but it's simple.
It's not.
Not simple. But I think that the first thing would be everything that I do or move out of love. I think that's what a lot of us are trying to do right now, but we get so caught up, no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that we forget the overall big message or the overall big goal that we have. So when I'm talking to people about, everything right now, I like to use the word listen. Just listen. Like before you even try to convince somebody of your opinion, just listen to them. Because listen, you actually get, oh, okay, we're on the same page. Doesn't matter if you're a Martin or a Malcolm, a Booker T. Washington, Webb Du Bois, finding the same thing. But if we just listen I think that's really how we can come together, by listening to each other and not moving in a you're right type statement.
You know, I definitely agree, you know, because a lot of the times when you find yourself trying to have an academic discourse with somebody in your own community, you know, things can get real combative real quick. And it's like, okay, you know, we both want to see the same thing. You know, all Black people, well, most Black people want to see things being done better and differently for their people. Now, how we get to that point, you know, may be different depending on who you're talking to. But, you know, if we have the same goal, then I don't see why when we're talking to one another, it can, you know, be bickering, going back and forth, because now that creates divide. And once you get a community divided within itself, once you get a community that's fighting within one another, you know, you don't even have to fight them. You know, they fighting themselves. They're destroying themselves. Exactly. So now we're already losing the battle about fighting within each other. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into anything. You know, take for example, I've been saying this a lot on social media lately. You know, it's almost just like it's a gender war happening between Black men and Black women.
Yes.
You know, and I don't understand it, because now is the time when we're supposed to be unified more than ever. And, you know, do people not find it funny that in a time where civil unrest is, you know, at a high, now it's like, okay, well, we're going to pit them against each other. We see they trying to do stuff now. So, okay, cool. We see y'all trying to make moves. We put y'all against each other, and then we'll see how y'all go. Because y'all not going to be coming together to make nothing happen if all Black women think all Black men are trash and all Black men don't want to deal with.
As what's called, I think we need to move from what's called, remember Dwayne Hendricks, shout out Dwayne, he's going to move from protesting to contesting, you know what I'm saying? So, well, you know, they can live with us just what's called just talking the talk, you know, we get angry, we shout, we group, what's called, we say we want change. They can live with that. But once you start contesting the weapons they use to divide us, you know, like I've seen Europeans are masters of modern warfare in general. They know how to separate the people, cut us from our roots, cut off our supplies. They can get the psychiatric blows, like them killings or firing, them grenades at that mass group of rioters. Those are playing in our heads and having us think, man, we're powerless. Man, I don't think we can do this. Man, we don't got enough to beat the system. On the other hand, if we start, you know, growing our own food, not letting them divide our men and women, and keeping us united by having other means to show that we're strong, we're staying together, we're foundation, we're gonna keep on moving towards growth. They can those weapons no longer work and they lose their main power.
And it's funny you say that, because I remember, well, back in middle school, I heard of this book called Behold a Pale Horse, written by, I think, William Cooper, who was an ex-CIA agent. And in his book, he talks about so many things that go on now, and he wrote this back in the 90s before they killed him. And he talked about this thing called, what was it? Don, do you remember? It was like Silent War, Quiet Weapons, I think.
Silent weapons, quiet wars.
There we go. Yeah, see, a little dyslexic there. But that's literally what was happening on. They was trying to divide back then. And he even writes about how the CIA was implementing things as simple as the TV to break up the household, right? Like you have, all right, now you got the father sitting in the household, so he's not interacting with his wife or the kids. And so then the wife the conflict starts there, just off there's something called the tail-eye vision, right? Tail-eye vision. And so it's playing with you simply as that, just as to mess up things further down the line. So it was so many things going on up under our nose that when a big issue comes, we was too busy bickering over the small stuff to even pay attention and understand the bigger impact that it was having. And to me, that's ridiculous about like how far they would go to stop it, right? Because they know the strongest power is unification, right?
Yeah,
if we unify, we can accomplish anything. If everybody just sits down and goes inside instead of, you know, just going inside within self, we can just like that. We can be, I'm sick of this. All right, game over. Snap your fingers. Game, right?
It's, you know, these multi-billion-dollar corporations, these quote-unquote elites or higher-ups, they're completely outnumbered. You feel what I'm saying? And so if we collectively were just like, okay, cool, Chick-fil-A don't care about us, Fine. Tomorrow, we're not eating no Chick-fil-A across the nation. You know what I'm saying? We say we keep that going. Chick-fil-A is going out of business. They're not making any money. They know that we have the say so. Now, if we knew that we had to say so, that's when we could start changing things. We be acting like we don't have the power to change stuff, but we do. All we got to do is make a collective effort. You know, I hear a lot of people talking about, you know, things gonna be different for this generation. We not like our ancestors. And, you know, on a positive note, that's true. But you could also look at it in another way, because our ancestors, they gave up something as essential as public transportation. They boycotted buses, things they needed to get to and from work, and, you know, things they needed in order to, you know, pursue their livelihoods. They literally boycotted something as essential as that. But somebody could come out right now and tell you your favorite food spot that you love to go to every week, don't care about Black people, and 90% of us would be like, well, they just gonna have to say it to my face before I stop eating their food. And that's where you see the disconnect. Because, like, come on now, we trying to start a movement, we trying to start a revolution. We got to be able to sit aside things such as, oh, well, I mean, they got good chicken. You know what I'm saying? You know, they sandwich is good. I don't know if they don't really like Black people, but they got good food. Now we got to get out of that
So what are you
mindset.
doing with food?
Right.
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 What do you
Right.
do with food that makes it so good?
Speaking
Pretty
on
much
that, because
this chicken to make it not taste like chicken anymore.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be like, oh man, well, what show was it where they found out the chicken, the Boondocks? Everybody was going crazy over the chicken. They found out the chicken had cocaine in it. It's gonna be like that.
and to
Stop
me,
dismissing cartoons, man.
it's the power, and this is why I've been focusing on food for like the past few months, because I think the power in it is highly underrated to the extent. Because last week, me and the crew, we went out and we went down to Atlanta on this Black-owned farm by Everyone Eats ATL, and we took this food and donated it to the hoods in Atlanta, and the reaction to those people was ridiculous. They were so amazed, and we like, this down the street, and it was like, it's 5-minute walk maybe, and this is our food here for you. Like, we're growing this specifically for us so we can be self-reliant and self-sufficient, because if those corporations shut their doors to us, you would starve, just because you wouldn't even know there's access to food that we have just for you, just for us, right? That we're pushing this into our communities. And these people were always going, they were so amazed, you know, and that's a good thing, because it was powerful, but at the same time, this was down the street, and it was crazy how much they didn't know, because at the end of the street, it was a KFC when they have a farm on the other side.
I remember that was like a terrible location
that.
for a KFC, but they're like, oh no, it's right down them projects, you know, trying to get to us. It's right there. It's local. It's convenient. So they're going to go to that before going to the market that's like 2 blocks away.
It really makes you wonder.
You can go.
Oh, my fault. You know, it really makes you wonder when you have something like a self-sufficient Black-owned farm that's minutes away from where you live, and almost nobody in your community knows about it. But then the KFC on the corner, everybody know about that. They got their drive-through line wrapped around the building. And that really just don't sit right with me, because it doesn't take much for you to go out and support something like that. Someone you know for a fact is doing something for your good. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they brought people together to bring fresh produce for free to the residents. So you know these people, okay, we're trying to give them healthy food, but we also gonna give them healthy food at no cost, because we want to show them that we're doing this for them. But then you got this multi-billion-dollar corporation on the corner who food got, you know, whoever knows what's in it.
Everything that shouldn't be in your body.
Right. Yeah. And so, you know, that just don't sit right with me. And the fact that this is just one community, you know, it's thousands of communities across the nation that could be in this same situation, which most likely are in the same situation.
Right. And
but it's about money and power.
Yeah. And I think one thing we learned from helping them out, what was spoken to us by one of the event organizers, was that when it comes to voting. He said the poor vote and the rich lobby. And taking that into context, you don't never hear rich people telling you to go outside and vote, because they usually don't. They usually lobby. They have a group, right? Like the NRA, they'll go up to their congressman's house and be like, hey, if you don't get XYZ passed, we won't vote for you. And to them, the congressman, that's more scary than someone saying you won't. Essentially, just the voting process, never, because you always notice the people running never feel scared when it's voting season. But any other time, they on ice. They be like, got to make sure I'm doing XYZ. So if you threaten just by going, hey, we ain't gonna vote for you next time, that's enough to make them go like, all right, guess I have no choice. And you see this even in interviews, right? I watched the interview of a dude talking about 5G, a senator, and they was like, well, what's your stance on 5G? He said, whatever my constituents say. I was like, what? You don't even have an opinion.
You got an opinion, and you can't share?
He said, whatever gets me back in office. So this shows that they're just slaves to us, right? They're essentially our slaves if they want to go that deep. What we say will influence, all right, we won't vote for you. That's just saying, oh, let me go ahead and it's bad, it's terrible. It will kill you in one day. Like, that will make them do whatever you need, rather than, because for me, the voting system can be so easily tampered with. And though I love the idea of always voting in local community elections, it can be so easily tampered with. It makes you mad sometimes. We're like, while the rich are just saying, oh, we didn't vote, but we threatened him. Like, what?
Right. They done set a movie. I mean, they done set a meeting up with they local congressman, they local senator. They ain't even step in the booth, but they getting everything they want. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even gotta go in and get no ballot. They just pulled up to old homie house. And they was like, all right, see, this what we want. And
old homie.
Right. Right.
Yes.
They said this what we want, and you gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's how it goes down.
That was one of the fundamental flaws stated like the Federalist Papers by Madison, saying that people are going to act more in their own self-interest rather than the country as a whole. So they will rather say what they have to say to get back in office and get their position than say what actually think and what could benefit us as a country as one. So
facts.
That boy done brought up his AP US history.
It's burned in here, bro.
And yo, the fact that lobbying is even legal and it's not even being utilized tells you it needs to be used. Like no one even knows about lobbying. They teach you about lobbying like maybe one time, and that's about it. Because they always the things that are the most important. They put like they give it a little tiny box at the end of the page in your textbook. It's like lobbying. You be like, no, you don't need to know about that. Just vote.
And you know what's crazy? The people that do know about lobbying, they want to abolish it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, lobbying is unfair. Well, obviously it's not going nowhere. So we might as well use it for our own benefit.
Right. We need to use it.
Right. We need to use it.
We need to learn how to effectively use it.
Fact.
Right.
Which leads me to a question I've been asking a lot of people lately. I said, who has more power? A president who's in there for a max of 8 years, or a senator who's been in it for 40 plus years, right?
Congress.
The president is just the face.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just a figurehead. The only true power he has is an executive order, right? That's when he's like, I'll write this here. But anything else, that's why they have gridlock able to happen in Congress.
Like congressmen make the actual laws. All the president can do is say yes or no. And even if he says no, they can override it. And they go anyway.
And that literally shows you. So if the senator been there for 40 plus years, what he say probably gonna go. I'm just saying. He seems more deadly than someone who's just here for 4 years. Because essentially, let's say if it's a new president who ain't never been president, he get in the office, they like, hold on, man, you new around here, man. Step out the seat, man. We've been here. Oh, you got 30 people in your seat when you walk in. You know how ridiculous that is?
Bro, and then even thinking about it like this, if a senator been in office for decades and the world is what it is now, you know that they ain't been doing nothing for black people that whole time. You know for a fact.
And it's ridiculous, man. Because to me, I just see I look at it like lines of code. I just be like, look at the games they playing, right? Like,
experience.
Right.
Years of experience.
Even with the candidates for this upcoming election, man, they both clowns. I mean, I think Trump is self-explanatory. I don't even think we need to speak on that.
Yeah.
The
He's not
only
trying to
thing
hide
I
it.
could even commend him on is how he acted the act to catch all them pedophiles like Weinstein and Epstein. That I clap for. I'm like, get him out of here.
Even though he is one of the pedophiles.
Right, he one of them.
Yeah,
But
He
I
trying to
think
bring everybody down with him. That's all that is.
if he going down, he bringing everyone with him. It's like, oh, me? Shoot, well, let me tell you the list, because he got it in his back
You
pocket.
think you do this to
He
me?
talking about, well, have you heard of so-and-so? And let me tell you about this guy. Oh, this was a good one
I
right
got it
here.
in my phone right here. Watch.
Back in 87, Epstein and I, bro, let me tell you what we did. Like, what is wrong with this man? And Biden, I think Biden is like just as big as a show, because if he was really for the people, he was VP for 8 years and nothing has happened. So I think he's just as easily misconcepted, but I think just the term Democrat is enough to pull people into his flaws as well. Because Don, what you showed me like 2 weeks ago still has me like kind of scared with the current case of crimes against humanity, right? With all
and
these
there's
names,
so many people being sued right now.
Joe Biden's name is on there. Matter of fact, let me pull it up, man, because it's ridiculous, right?
There's
I was
so
looking
many
at it like,
corporations and people.
So here it goes. So the plaintiff, it's a case that was filed back in December, right? 16th, right before the New Year's. And
2019?
yeah, December 16th, 2019. And it's for victims of persecution, rape, torture, concentration camps, sex, human and organ trafficking, organ harvesting in China, Hong Kong, America, around the world. Christians are under fire, as in the whole area of Rome and the Pope, the John Does, which are the people that's not going to be named. And the defendant list is ridiculous. It's like 50 people. It's like Hillary, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, the whole Google LLC, Amazon, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. And these people are all in court right now in trial against the crimes against humanity for all those current things. So to me, I'm just like, whoa, wait, when did this even happen? This has been going on for decades. And I believe that if Biden gets in, well, actually Biden has stated that he would pardon this case if he gets in office. So he like, all us are free. We can go back to doing our same pedophile stuff. And I was just like, does no one hear this? This dude is insane. So to me, I think they're all like, they're just pawns.
They are.
And it's very, it can be very discouraging. Because when I found this out, I was through my phone. I was like, I don't even know what to do no more. This is ridiculous. Like,
bro,
the
I
name
don't
is
even know how I found that, bro. Like, I'm just researching and I find it, and I was like, I was dumbfounded because I was like, these names, and you can go in there and you can literally recognize every single name on the defendant list, and that's a problem.
Right.
Like, that's a problem.
But
this
these
is
are the
stuff like
fake
organ harvesting.
Right.
Black budget, black operation stuff on here.
Sad.
Even George Soros and his management, the people that started the funding, the person that started the funding for the Black Lives Matter movement is on here. So I was like, wait a minute, if his funding team is under trials against humanity, what did they really do with this money?
Aaron, what was that quote by him again?
Huh?
What was that quote by him again?
Oh yeah, let me read the quote by George Soros, right? This is the funder, this is the dude who started the funding of Black Lives Matter. And this is why he said our greatest power over blacks is that we control everything they believe. We control their education, their news, their entertainment, all their statistics, their image of themselves. He said this therefore allows us to inundate blacks with disinformation designed to instill the myth of white superiority and black self-hatred into their minds. And I was like, so this who funded it? So clearly he racist and he funded it.
He knew it and he played into it.
And so to me, I was just like, he put 33 mil into this. I don't even trust it because I feel, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for Black Lives Matter, of course, but in the sense of the movement, I feel like it's almost a play. I feel like he's sitting back laughing right now. If he has the nerve to make this comment, then like, I'm gonna throw in 33 million though. Yeah, let's see what they do with that.
People like, I look at it as two types. You got of course like those like Trump and him are like the armed robbers, right? Like he came to the bank, he busted in, dropped 3 guards, put the gun to the man's head, got the money in the bag, dip, like GTA style type stuff. Meanwhile, the hidden ones like Biden, they're the online hackers. They're in their house doing it secretly under stealth, getting the same amount of money, but no one knows he's done it until the money's gone already. They're just like, oh my God.
Hey, they the Lesters. They the Lesters,
yes.
bro.
Yes, bro. He's funding the whole operation. He probably worse than maybe the ones doing it up front, but the same crime.
Right. And just finding out about the George Soros thing was enough to have me question the whole movement in itself. Because, like, again, he's sitting back laughing during this now.
Oh, and I was so upset when I started doing more research about the Black Lives Matter movement, because when everything was going down, you know, my first reaction was completely emotional. I'm like, you know what? We going out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? We about to show these fools. They can't mess with us. I'm making hashtag Black Lives Matter posts and everything. I'm about to show them what's up. And then I started doing more research, and it's like, wait, you telling me all the millions we donated to y'all, like my people are donating to you, don't even go to Black people? You telling me they going to Democratic candidates that have showed us that they don't care about us already?
Biden campaign.
I was like, so what's really going on? And then it really just upset me even more, because we have so many Black people that are upset and that want change and have their hearts in the right place, but they're being led astray by these corporations and this movement that claims to be for us. It's diabolical. Like, it's beyond evil.
Trying to feed into what's it called? Anger, faith, dread, fear. Those oppositions of like thinking and strategic thinking. Like, if you're so wound up in those emotions, you're just gonna go with the first, riot, act, destroy, fight, resist, stuff like that. Meanwhile, if we just take a moment, feel the emotions, understand them, but still use them as a drive to think strategically, unite on a smarter attack plan, then we'll go forward. But a lot of people just haven't got to that strategic side of them yet. They're still on the whole fact that, oh no, if they shoot my brother, I'm shooting back. They ain't gonna take them down like this, and that's the big problem at this moment.
but and I agree exactly with what y'all just said. And to me, again, this goes back to what is the solution, right? Because even during this time, a lot of celebrities have definitely shown their hand, right? They've shown where they stand in this. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Yep, right. You cancel, right? Since y'all trying to cancel people, you definitely cancel, especially a lot of these Black celebrities, because they've shown their hand. Some of them, I think, are boule now, without a doubt. Like, I don't even see y'all in any type of light. If you know me, I love T.I., but I don't even look at him the same, right? He talking about blackout day for one day, man. Make that junk every day. If this the case, as much money as he got, he could have made a Black community easy. Especially artists who've had to change their platform to equate to the times, because all they talk about is drilling one another, right? Sure, we get down, this that woo is that, you get to it and all that. But at the end of the day, what is this music doing for the culture other than having each other kill each other, right? So they got to change their platform just to even make themselves stay relevant. Because right now they are no longer relevant, which is why certain artists are waiting for this to blow over so they can get back to promoting their deaf music again.
But you can't just wait for something to blow over, because who's to say that it's going to blow over?
Facts.
Nothing is ever the same as it used to be after this time period, because this is such a universal shift. Like, everything is shifting. This isn't just a physical realm shift. The spiritual realm is literally shifting and wiping people out. Like, this is more of a spiritual battle than anything.
Facts.
So, like, either way, you're screwed.
I seen remnants of the spiritual battle going on back during COVID, right? Because a lot of ancestors that's been preaching this knowledge started passing over to the other realm. Rest in power to Dr. Leica Africa. He's one of the biggest ones who was promoting health. And then people out of nowhere started having these crazy vivid dreams. They was like, yo, I've been dreaming crazy stuff. And they were saying that it's been a war in the spiritual ethereal realm, and the backlash is seeping over into our dimension. You feel me? And I was like, oof, that deep.
Like, even if you study astrology and numerology, it makes even more sense, because it's like everything is aligned right now.
Right.
We're going through time periods that we haven't been in decades.
Right. it's you
can't say that this is already written in stone, that this isn't supposed to be happening. That's why I've been telling people, find peace in knowing that everything that's happening right now, it seems really bad right now, but it's gonna be okay because it's written in stone.
Facts.
But it's only gonna be okay if we contribute. I don't understand why people talking and then continue to talk to me. Get out of my room.
Yo, even with the Mayans, bro, like when they actually have found out that, when they made the movie 2012, right? It was just like natural disasters everywhere. I used to love that movie, man. I used to be like, whoa, that tsunami huge, man. I don't think I can swim in that. But it turns out that 2012 in the Mayan calendar, there is a difference of 8, and it's 2020. And I was just like, man, at this point, you can't tell me they ain't know what they was. You cannot tell me they ain't know they got up out of here. They was like, oh, really? Man, we ain't even gonna be here that long. Let's dip, y'all. Peace. And they miraculously disappeared. They just left their vessel and was like, man, Earth's kind of trash, man. Yeah, I know, man. They about to get crazy.
Who you telling?
So many movies and so many shows warn us like this.
Right.
Like at the end of Planet of the Apes.
I was literally thinking about that, John, too, right? With the virus. I was just like,
bro, the movie Contagion. Y'all remember that movie in like 2011? And then it was a show on CW called Containment. And it was about when a virus broke out. And it was in Atlanta, bro.
The Walking Dead?
Right?
Atlanta.
Please let that. Oh, my God.
They tell you and they make fun of it. They're like, they ain't about to go. They laugh when they making this movie. They're like, hey, look, we're going to put this here. And they just they be cracking it up. And you watch it, you go like, that was a great nonfiction. They always put the movies that have the most truth in
this
science
never
fiction.
happen.
They put science fiction, right? I be looking at that junk like, what? When I seen Avatar, right? Blue people Avatar,
in the world,
I was like, oh, cool. There go my spirit body. I just go out, huh? All right, cool. But they put that ain't real, man. It's science fiction.
No, it's not.
Everything fiction at this point. I've learned more from myths than I have from nonfiction at this point.
Seriously.
Who you telling? I don't learn more from comic books and textbooks. And I stand on that hill to the day I die, bro.
Literally. I literally keep books just when look, hold on. Here a book I've been reading, right? The ISIS thesis, right? I've literally put together so much astrological things just from this book that NASA has just confirmed that the Egyptians have been doing back who knows when, in a picture, just some pictures. And they was like, yeah, this is XYZ. And we got to have this whole non-stakes explained version, right? I was just like, so this picture told me you ain't have to say all them words those not even words. You just making up stuff to prove your case or to debunk this, right? They always tell you the Egyptians were savages because they couldn't understand it. It's beyond your dialect. But me, this is second nature. I'm like, oh, that's definitely, I see that.
And it's crazy. It's crazy how they paint that picture. They would tell you, oh, these people, they didn't know how to do what they were doing. Like they came, across all these discoveries by accident. They weren't really trying to do this math or this science. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they could have done this thousands of years ago. But they try to tell you that because they trying to play. They trying to show you that, well, what we have right now, this is the most advanced that we've ever been. No, it's not. You go back thousands of years ago, right? Like we really been regressing and not progressing. And so now you see, okay, if they'll lie about something like that, then that just makes you wonder what would they tell the truth about? What would they lie about now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You lying about something as simple as, oh, these ancient people, they didn't really know how to do this math. Come on,
they created the math.
Right.
Exactly.
It sounds better saying they took control and usurped some savages than saying they deceived and connived some intelligent people and whitewashed their history. It sounds way better for them to think, oh, they didn't know what they were doing, so we saved them.
And you know what really be pissing me off? Because they use our science because they don't erase it from our books and they make rituals out of it, right? All these Confederate statues that's going down were on top of native burial grounds, right? These sacred stakes of energy, and they corrupted it with a Confederate statue. We're gonna put Lee here. Yep. They take it down to a burial site, like all that energy, right? So I think what they weren't expecting from our generation was all the spiritual and ancestral energy we had inside. They was like, they ain't gonna do nothing. Or if they do, they ain't gonna do too much. And they in the back over there scratching their head. So who calculated this? Did the Egyptians say this in Tomb 71B? They was like, I wasn't ready for this generation. They wasn't ready for it. So we hit them with a little bit. You know, they been trying to spirit cook us for so long. We had to hit them back like, nah, man, ain't this time. It ain't going down like that.
Yeah. And that's why I think right now the media is so important. Artists are so important because to me, whatever you could think of in your head, you can have in your head. Right?
Thanks.
So when it comes to, I'm seeing like a lot of artists starting to come out and making stuff, things out there. Like you guys were saying, like the manifestations of movies and non-fiction stuff that we read coming to life. Like that stuff is real. Whatever you can in your head will come out, and you can work with your hands. So I feel like right now, if we can try to put our stuff out there, whether that's in nonfiction or, you know, music, whatever that is, you're putting out that energy of, oh, you're going to hear me. You're going to see you're going to see my spirit ties. You know, just stuff, putting stuff out there, putting that energy out there. I think that's going to help a lot.
It is. I was watching this video on YouTube the other day, and it was such a beautiful message. They were saying how the key to rapid manifestation is to feel it. You can easily say something, you can easily think something, but everything that you think and say has to go somewhere. Everything is a vibration, everything is a frequency. But when you feel it in your heart and you truly, genuinely feel the presence of whatever you're manifesting, that's how you bring it. And that was just so beautiful because you were talking about artists and stuff, and I really love seeing that, like everybody getting out of their shells and speaking. And not just saying any old thing, not because music, art, they're spells. So it's spelling everything that you do. So I love seeing artists putting out things to uplift each other now. That's one thing that I do appreciate about us. Because people can say whatever they want about our generation. But one thing is, we're going to create and we're going to uplift each other. We might get mad and not like each other, but at the end of the day, I love you.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we fight in the same battle. So artists, keep creating. Keep creating. Keep creating.
Everyone keep creating.
And keep feeling. I don't want this to be something that makes us numb.
Yeah.
That's a great point you just made, because when things like this happen and you have people who have so much emotion, but they still got to wake up and go to work, or wake up and go to school and carry on with their day-to-day activities, it's almost like, okay, I got to suppress this particular part of me in order to function and be able to do what I need to do in order to live. And you do that for days, weeks, months at a time, and then you become desensitized. And then you get to a point where it's like, you know, I could see a Black person get murdered in the street, but it won't register to me. It'll just be like, oh, just another day in America. You know, it is what it is, on to the next. And that's when things will really take a turn for the worse. Because the last thing we need is for people to see injustices happening and just think that that's the norm. That's what's supposed to happen. That's okay. You know, just move on. You know, I'll worry about the next one. No, we're fighting so that there isn't a next one. That's what this whole thing, that's what it's all about. There needs to not be a next one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a lot.
And it's a lot.
Deep, right?
It's really easy to wake up and let social media dictate how the rest of your day goes.
Right.
That's why I highly encourage people, when you wake up, don't even touch your phone. Like, wake up, go take your vitamins, eat something, drink a bottle of water, and sit outside. Or do something that makes you peaceful. Do something that brings you peace. You set the tone for your day.
Right.
So it's not our media. Social media can be tampered with. This is false news. It's not real. It's just stuff to distract you from the bigger picture even more.
Literally.
And keep you disconnected. Turn that phone off. Turn it
Very
off.
true. The world
It's-
is
it was-
so deep right now to the extent where, like, to me, I don't. Whenever there's a killing, there's a video, I don't watch it because I feel like that's trauma porn for the mind. Like, I don't want that in my psyche, right? And people be like, Aaron, you watched that video? No, I'm not about to watch that. I'm not about to watch my brother get killed. And then, because when I see that in my psyche, the first thing you're going to have is emotion, rage, anger, right? You're going to invoke some Aries energy and you're going to pop off on the next person that try you. Like, no cap. Like, I watched one video, I'm at Kroger. Person say, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good, man. Back in his room, he's like, okay. I mean, yeah, man, I'm straight, man. I'm good, man. Like, I was not here for it. And I think it's trauma for the mind. I think we got to speaking of that, we got to be very careful of the words we say, right? Like, I personally wouldn't wear a mask that says I can't breathe, right? Because the subconscious mind can't tell the difference. Like, that's casting a spell. So say you're in a situation and you speak the words I can't breathe, the subconscious is like air out the lungs. Boom. Now you really can't breathe because you put that in your psyche. Your mind can't tell the difference. That's why when you manifest, if you have any doubt in your head, it ain't gonna happen. Right? It's like when you speak the words, I'm trying to think of a sentence. Like, Like,
I hate it here.
Go ahead.
Right.
I hate it here is a big one.
Right. You hate
Tell
it.
the universe you don't want to be here.
You like, bet.
And I'm saying I hate circumstances. You're saying I don't want to be here. Take me off this earth. I hate it here.
And you know what's also a really big one? People saying they don't want something because the mind, the subconscious can't tell the difference between do or don't. So you saying, I don't want to lose my job or I don't want to get a bad grade on this test. All your subconscious here, all the universe here is, all right, I want to lose my job. I want a bad test.
Right.
And you're so ingrained into that I don't want. You keep saying it over and over and over again. And you manifesting that into the physical world.
And
then
I want. It's like, you want
right.
Why are all these bad
you
things
got what you
happening
asked
to me?
for. Right. Like, you literally getting what you asked for.
And I get both sides.
Negativity.
I've been getting both sides past semesters in college. Like, I mean, you guys are here to attest to it. Because I've literally had first semester, I was like, man, I ain't going to fail this class. I'm going to end up with a B. Put it on the sticky note. Put it on my dorm wall. I took that final. I was like, I don't know what I did, but let's hope I went from an F to a B. I was like, man, what I tell y'all, man? Well, the next semester, I had a class I was doing terrible in. I was like, I think I might fail it. Bro, I almost failed that class till I started going ham on the meditation and I'm talking about I had a case for the class that I had to beat where the teacher tried to accuse me of plagiarism, and I fought that case from April to June, like literally trying to defend myself because I played too much in my subconscious mind playing around and I might fail. It was like, oh, you trying to fail, huh? It was like, well, I got something for that. It was like, let me open it. It was like, he about to fail. I was not here for it. And I was like, I gotta stop playing with these manifestations because you manifest things you don't want a lot easier. Because when you say it, you might say you joking. You know you're not joking. That's why you said it.
Oh, and that used to happen to me all the time in school. Like, before we had an assignment, before we had a test, I would always say, yeah, I'm about to get an A on this. I'm about to get an A on this. And I would say that every time. Now, did I get an A on it every time? No. But I wasn't about to sit there and put that thought into my head that I'm about to fail. Like, at least if I put that positive energy, now it's like, okay, we see that you got that positive vibration. Now you put the work for it. And eventually you're going to get the success. You know what I'm saying, that you're looking for. It might not happen right then and there, but eventually your success is going to come. And that's what happened to me. Like, it wasn't immediate success, but, like I said, everything is on divine timing. Everything happens for a reason. And, at the end of the day, I got what I asked for.
And how we direct this energy is important. That's why I tell for people we need to go inside ourselves, right? Because the power of meditation is immense, right? That's why they always try to write it off as nonsense. Dude, you can meditate for 10 minutes. You can meditate for 5 minutes and make something pop up, and you'd be crazy. You'd be like, what in the world?
Serious.
Yo, we had an episode one time on the show where we was talking about, what was the kind of car we was talking about? Like a red Camaro, and then
Oh,
Don,
yeah.
you saw like
Don
10
saw it.
red
You were like-
Camaros.
He was like, if you think about a red Camaro, you're gonna see a red Camaro. I kid y'all not. The next day, I saw at least 10 red Camaros while I was out driving. I kid you not. Like, I can't make this stuff up.
And that's how you know your mind is such a powerful thing. Like, if you can
Right.
change the way you think, imagine the things that you can do just by
Right.
changing the way that you view the world. It's all about perspective.
Because we're all connected to the universe. We're all here.
Facts.
Like, I don't discriminate against anybody's religion,
Right.
whatever. But in most religions, they say a product of my creator. You are
You
A
are.
product of your creator.
creator. So
Right.
definitely a part of the universe. You're connected. Anything that you speak
Right.
comes into existence.
Right. We are literally one with the universe. We have the same components of a star. You ain't gonna tell me I'm not a star. I can look at the sun and be like, hey, there go me up there. People like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What you talking about?
Bro,
Right.
I was literally just
I'm
out.
pretty sure you are a human, man. I don't know about you. I'm stardust, bro. I'm out, bro. I can just dip.
Right.
Don't play with me.
Bro,
Star baby.
I was just out on a nature trail yesterday, and it was dummy hot outside. I'm talking about the sun just beaming. I'm out. Everybody like, man, it's hot out here. I'm like, nah, this sun is beautiful. I love the
Right.
sun. The sun is doing great things to me right now. They're like, bro, no, I need some shade. I don't need no shade. You see what that light doing? That light activating this melanin right here. I'm like, I can stay out here all day.
Right.
Literally. And this is the perfect
Activating his
time
spirit.
to
Right.
activate our melanin and use it for the purpose we want it. You inside, no, go outside and talk. Right? That's why you protest outside. You don't protest in the house. You don't walk around your house. You go outside and activate it. You know how we're crazy. You look up here running around with a sign in your house. We won't change. Well, if you don't take your ass outside.
Oh,
I think we got to be careful of how the word, because what our last guest told us was the word pro means for. So the protest means you for the test. So I think they even play with our words to trick you on how you acting. Because if you want something to change, you would contest it, right? Contest it. And I was sitting there like, whoa, that's why they call it Congress, because they always fighting. It's not called progress. Because if it was called progress, something would get done. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that right there. And I'm just like, wow.
English language.
Literally, English language ain't nothing but spells of Moorish code that them destroyed. Now I can't even look at words. I look at words as numbers. I be like, and you know my favorite number, 44. Now I just like 44. Oh, that's the number right there. Law 44. Tap into that one right there. And I've heard we're on the law of 44 is all 2020 is about. And there's a duality to that. And what 44 means is that there will be bloodshed. So I've heard from, people such as like blue pill and red pill. And they've told us that there will be blood that comes with it. But if you use this energy right, creation will come for it. Because 44 is all about the duality of things and the duality of life, right? And so that's the energy to tap into, man.
Like you said, with things having a certain duality, a lot of people tend to only look at one aspect of things, and that's across all aspects of life. For example, a lot of people like to focus on the concept of death. And I tell people, without the concept of death, we have no concept of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people didn't die, we wouldn't know what life was. If we didn't know what sadness was, we wouldn't know what happiness is. If we didn't know what hate was, we wouldn't know what love is. So you got to understand that these things are all interconnected. They're just two different sides to the same coin. So everything that's happening now, that just shows you that, okay, if it's another side to the coin of all of this, when everything is equal, like everything has an equal and opposite reaction. We know that from physics. So if there's something that's equal and opposite of all the hate and destruction that's happening now, then that means we got love and creation coming right around the corner. We just got to make sure to use that energy in the right way.
And it's crazy because like what do the Egyptians prepare for? Since when they born, the only thing they talk about is death. Their whole culture is based off of death. They like, all right, you born, let's hope you leave so you can go do some magical stuff in the universe. We don't want to be here. Like you come out the womb, they like, so the coffin, How you want your coffee?
Right.
Yes.
It was stories of people who were known as breatharians that would live off just their breath alone, right? Because the air was so pure. They knew the science of breathing. Because there's even science to breathing. That's why I say we got to be careful when you say I can't breathe. And there's stories of them living to 200 years old. People are like, that's amazing. But when they would write down, they studied, they'd be like, this is a prison. We cannot wait to leave, right? Like they were ready to leave this realm so they can do as they wanted to tap into that cosmic energy. Because if you get the power here is great, but think about the power once you leave this vessel, right? You can come and sprinkle some magical pixie dust on your homie. He like, homie, you still here? Hold on, bro. So let me get you some dough real quick. So
all right.
I'm trying to tap out like a good 40. I just want to be like,
well, who you telling? I be telling folks, I be like, look, I ain't trying to be here too long. All right, I'm just trying to do what I need to do and
go on.
I need to do. You feel
right? Me? Give me a farm, buy me some land, give me some food, be like, this for y'all. And then, boy, next day we're Aaron. Man, he left, y'all. What you mean he left? He just gone. He had a Wu-Tang shirt on and some pants. He gone. They just on the bed. Yes, I'm telling you.
And next thing you know, I'm gonna get the sun gonna be extra bright the next day, and I'm like, my nigga.
Yeah, I tell my guys the story all the time. I tell them like, if I go before them, they gonna know because I'm gonna do something that only we would know or something so retarded. Like I told Roger, like a book gonna fall off his shelf and it's gonna be something that only I say. He gonna be like, man, that boy's still bothering me when he gone. He's so annoying. And this is the time to tap into that energy because it's immense right now. Like the timelines are converging, right? The universe is like, we here, we out you, we here, we throwing it at it's literally throwing at you. So it's like you can how this thing like, yeah, come on, change. Yeah, like it's just like that, like instantly. The power of the mind is but a minefield of discovery.
It's infinite, man. Like I'm reading a book right now called Think and Grow Rich by Dennis Kimbro and Napoleon Hill. And it's a financial book. And literally the first chapters, it's all about manifestation. It's all about the power of the mind. That's why they talk about say, your overwhelming thoughts, that's gonna become your reality. You know, whatever you think, that's gonna become, you know, what happens physically. They were talking about literally ideas. It was like everybody likes to, you know, say ideas are just ideas, but it's like literally every single thing that's physical right now started off as an idea in someone's head. It's like every single thing that you can see right now was once an idea. So that just shows you the power of ideas. You know what I'm saying? Ideas run the world.
And when you collect that hive mind, this same power could be used towards our movement, our goals right now to create change. We can create change in the blink of an eye. If everyone was on, not even necessarily on one accord, but if everybody just went within self, 5 minutes even, just even 5 minutes if you can't sit still, but 5 minutes, right? And it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot out
and
here,
one
man.
person's weakness is another person's strength, so we don't even have to necessarily everybody in the world talk and let's map this out. Like it doesn't even have to be anything extreme like that. It's about knowing your strength and how you can contribute.
Right.
That's why unification is so important, because you may have one person that's, you know, really good at talking to people, really good at bringing people together, but they may lack in an area such as organizing events. And you got another person who can't talk to people for nothing, but they can sit behind closed doors and put something together. You put them two people together, and now, you know what I'm saying, they create something massive.
Right.
Exactly. Like I usually think, I'm like, what if Malcolm and Martin Luther King worked together? We got one about the action and we got one strategizing. What if they had worked together?
They almost did.
Like, what if it just had like, it was so close, and it was like, slipped my hands like water.
It all just goes back to listening, man. Like, if we
Goes back to
before we start arguing everything, like we got together, you know, we get together. So
and it don't get more powerful than this.
Literally.
It don't get more powerful than this.
I'm all about the action. Because I tell the people, like, when people are posting stuff, I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to go out there and do it. Because I'm not really for, like, the little talking. Like, you going to see me do it because I'm really about it. Like, some people will talk it and you won't never see them do nothing. So I'm like, yo, let's organize. Let's come out here and help. Let's actually create self-sufficiency. Let's go do X, Y, Z. Because if we want this to happen, this change, we have to be the change we want to see.
But also, a lot of people are still scared.
Yeah, fear is.
So it's like there would be in the middle of a crisis, a race war, everything war. There would be a virus telling us that if we're close to another person, we're gonna die.
Right.
People are scared. We are terrified. I have not been out of my house. My mama has not let me or any of my friends out of this house. As much as I want to go out and protest and be out there and messing stuff up, putting stuff on fire, just like as much as I want to be out there at the front of that line, I'm at home. But also there are other ways you can contribute to the movement.
Definitely.
Just working on yourself is doing something amazing. Donating, still spreading awareness. Right. Are you writing letters to people? Are you calling people's phones? Like there are so many different ways that you can contribute.
Yeah.
And I think you can't let anybody tell you there's a right way to make your mark. You know, everybody makes their mark in their own way. So you got to find what works best for you and pursue that with all your energy. And if we all do that, then, you know, great things are happening. Great things are happening.
Short tangent. For people that's still scared to go outside right now, go outside and activate your melanin. Because they don't want you to know that this is activated by sunlight, right? We have a vitamin D deficiency. So if you sit out there for at least an hour and a half, you will charge it. This is ancient technology. This has been here since forever. Go out there and charge it. Go out there, because this is literally science that proves the power of melanin. And when you charge this boy, I'm talking about you be glowing. You be like, man, what's up? How you doing? Peace. Like you be on a whole different level just by charging your skin, right?
We done already did an episode about how the fact that vitamin D is literally what activates the cells in your body that fight virus. Mm-hmm. Like vitamin D is literally what activates them. So if you're not getting vitamin D, you could have a whole virus in your body and your body gonna be like, well, we here, but we not turned on, so we can't really do nothing. You feel me?
This is how evil they are. They gonna sell you a drink called vitamin D, but ain't gonna tell you to go out there and get some vitamin D. Like what?
Exactly.
Sunny D.
But the drink with vitamin D also has artificial flavors, artificial colors.
Yeah.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Right. So it's not pure vitamin D.
Well, they
I haven't drank Sunny D and I haven't drinking juice. All I drink is water.
Oh, I think I was 10.
On the way,
I was 10.
Is water 24/7 for me. But because I know I feel like I'm a plant. I go outside, I'm like, yeah. I go out there with the plants in the garden and sit. But how y'all growing? Growing good? Your leaf look a little brown. You might need a little water with it. Yeah.
And realistically, if this was a virus, it would have been dead by now. So what did you guys do to it to mutate it to make it keep killing? If that's really what's killing people, because we know that y'all are signing people's actual cause of death off their papers and putting corona so you can make more money.
Right.
So what's
don't even get me started on that, but my notes on that,
really
man.
Coronavirus industry right now.
Look, I got notes relating that to 5G, all types of
5G. It's like everything literally ties together, and it's a whole domino effect.
Yo, speaking of 5G, other day I was doing some door dashing with my homie, and we was in Decatur, and I seen the most ridiculous thing. Because, you know, I went to school in Florida, and, you know, I seen a few 5G towers shaped as palm trees, but I was like, you got to be a complete idiot to think that's a tree. But then I seen this tree in Decatur where it's extremely gentrified, like houses on top of houses next to churches. And, you know, it's a church and it's a liquor store on the same corner, on every corner. And I look up and it's a 5G tower the size of who knows what, trying to look like a tree. I was like, bro, you think people stupid, huh? That thing looks, it looked like a silo. And they tried to paint it.
They painted brown with the leaves
fake
on top?
branches. I knew it was a problem because the bird didn't want to land on it. I was like, bro, that's not even all right, then. I was like, let's keep going. And it's sickening because it's literally everything has a correlation, right? Because they don't want to, because what I feel, they probably going to say corona disappeared for now and pull it right back out in the wintertime when it ain't a lot of sun. So you're going to have a vitamin D deficiency and it's going to pull back on you and they're going to be like, I check them off the list.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even get me started on that. That made me mad right there. Like, every time my phone go from 4G to 5G and I go to Atlanta, I be like, man, I might as well throw this thing out the window.
No, for real. Like, it's a whole agenda. It's a whole agenda, and every single spiritual it doesn't matter what religion you practice. Everyone has talked about this. Everyone has hinted at this. Every text.
Yep.
Every literally. That's why I don't even pay attention to religion anymore. My religion is love, and I'm giving all thanks to the universe and Mother Nature, because they all have a common thread.
I mean, personally, I felt like religion was conformity, and I was just like, "Yo, give me all the knowledge, give me everything. Let me make up my own."
Honestly, you have to learn all of them.
I'm reading the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah all at once, and I just be sitting there like, man, I'm gonna just stop for today. I don't even know what I read at this point.
It's beautiful, though.
Yeah, it's amazing. And when you see the correlation and how everything has been telling you what's coming, and then when I was like, okay, where did these books get their knowledge from? And I keep going back to Egypt. And I was like, man, goddamn, I'm sick of this now. I'm gonna just read Emerald tablets every day at this point.
Bro, what I've come to find out is, this just goes to modern day. People are so quick to focus in on what's different about something. I was like, you look at all these religions, everybody will tell you what one religion has and what one religion doesn't in that area. I was like, nobody will ever tell you that all these religions really be saying the same thing in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different way with a different name.
Right.
The same message, but a different guy delivered the message, but it's basically the same message.
Right.
It's the same thing.
They changed one word and that means everything. Well, in yours it said I, we say we. Therefore, that means you cannot eat pigs. Huh? Yes. Just go with it. Perfect.
Hey, bro. I don't have people telling me, well, this religion got Jesus and this one don't. Or, this religion believes in this person, this religion doesn't. I'd be like, but at the end of the day, what are they all saying?
Right.
Like,
Forget who the messenger was. Did you get the message?
Yeah.
Did you get the message?
Some stories are more gruesome than the others.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Well, that's like you getting like 50 different dictionaries. They all written from a different publisher, and you telling them that, well, this word that we define here is different from your word because it's published from a different person. Last time I checked, you know what I'm saying, up gonna mean up no matter who write it.
That brings me to slavery, right? Because I think that slave mindset is still in that subconscious mind. They've engraved it so hard during school, the education system, and the word education actually means the lack of. So I was just like, okay, they playing games here too. And I was like, okay, so how can we hate everything about slavery but Christianity? I thought we hate it in general. Just hate it in entire. Don't try to pick and choose what you want to hate from it. If you hate it, you hate it, and just go with it. So let's move on past an elevator, right? Because I have conversations with people that get so mad when I'm just like, man, I don't even care what that say. I just know that let's unify and let's make some moves. And they be like, well, so-and-so said, and I was like, so-and-so can lick my boot, bro. Let me go ahead and do what I got to do for my people, right? Let me go ahead and tap into this energy and go ahead and do it. Let's make these moves now.
Conversation people are uncomfortable with having, because like, and most religions tell you how you got here, where you come from, how you should live your days, and what happens to you if you do or do not listen to what they tell you. Like, what's your feeling of what people are going to happen to them if they do or do not obey? They're going to like stick to that line because they do not want to step out and risk that consequence happening.
Crazy you said that, because this book here literally talks about the whole thing regarding life after death with the Egyptians, and NASA has proved it. And I was looking at this book like, man, this junk is an astrophysics journal, right? Because it's ridiculous. Like, there's this whole layer in the outside of Earth, outside the ionosphere, called the magnetosphere. And this is where all them solar winds come through and the immense heat, like right before the barrier between that and pure space. And it's all this information about immense heat waves and stuff, where the Egyptians would talk about, they would call it the Duat, which meant stars, which meant you would go through the North Pole and you would come out through the Duat system to the Orion belt, and you would lead the magnetosphere, which they said was Ra or Re, and they would say, if you chose to go with Ray, you would go out into the universe, but if you didn't, you would burn in the magnetosphere, which resembled hell. And I was just like, start over. Start over again. Let me make sure I got that right. Crazy.
They put it all in a movie called X-Men, whereas the main character is Magneto. The god Polaris, he has control of the magnets, and he was a Jew. And the Jew wrote the book. So
they were obsessed with like the Sirius star system, right? Where they say we came, they was obsessed with Polaris, Pilatus, and etc. And they don't want you to tap into the Mauritius who was talking to say, look.
Yes. And that's the real tea.
That's the key.
Game over, man. Game over.
You don't understand.
Game just started. Like, this is just the beginning of everything. And that's the crazy part. It's already seemed like so much has happened, but this is just the beginning. Shit, I'm excited.
Yo, I'm literally sitting back and I'm observing every day, and I'm like, yo, this is the best movie I done ever watched right here. I was like, man.
Bro, I seen a meme, and this might actually have me laughing. It was like, it's gonna be New Year's for 2021, and the clock gonna strike midnight, and we gonna see a message in the sky that says tutorial complete.
You'll be like, what?
Personally, when people said 2020 is starting off to a terrible year, I don't know. I think I have a different view because I knew what 2020 had instilled just from my readings. And I was like, this is about to be some. This is the year of sight. I was like, y'all asked for full sight this year, 2020, but you can't be upset when you get in the full sight. They showing you. You said 2020 guide me. It's called 2020. You asked for it, so they giving it to you. They said, oh, you ready? You ready? Yeah, I'm ready for it. Right? Boom, threw the whole deck of cards at you. Now you like,
Is it now that we're gonna give you all these things that's just gonna reveal true colors? You're gonna really see now.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it's a lot for people to take in at once, right? Because that's why some people are so overwhelmed by this information and what's going on outside. Because it's just like it's stressful. It's stressful. It's stressful.
Especially when you're not used to anything. Like,
right.
When you're not used to having to deal with stuff like this. Like, I know as soon as this quarantine bull crap mumble jumble started, I was sad. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to graduate. I'm not used to being at home. I'm used to being at rehearsal all day, coming home at night when everybody's going to sleep. And now you're telling me I got to be in my house all day, every day with me and my 8 siblings.
8? Ah.
Yes.
I think that worked out for me with the quarantine because look, some of my classes was not it right there. Okay,
Who you telling?
Physics and coding was on a different level. I was like, I don't know, man. I might need to make up some math too because they not even doing real math no more. So let me go.
No cap. No cap. Quarantine came in clutch for that calc too.
Yo, man, I ended up with like an A in calc, an A in humanities. I passed physics. I passed code. I was just like, yep, good. Now I know what to expect, you know? So, but
because honestly, I wasn't planning on coming to school too much more second semester after the show closed. Our last show closed. I was like, okay, what days do I actually have classes that are actually relevant?
Even with that, the quarantine signifies something, right? Even the timing of it and the dates, and again, the as above, so below. I was like, something.
What is he talking?
Talking, baby. No one can hear him but us. Aaron, we can't hear you.
What about now?
No.
Can we close it out? Don, do you close it out?
Nah, just keep going.
Oh, there you go. No, there you go.
Oh, y'all can hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had that issue you had last week, though.
Bro. Oh, that's funny.
I don't even know what I said.
Hey, we just missed
I
that
said,
little bit
oh,
out of
okay. I was saying the energy around it was even telling me something was off because I felt the shift in the universe. And a lot of people was telling me too. I was like, quarantine, this is new. And you know, this other book I've been reading, right, called Supreme Science by our last guest on here, Dwayne Hendricks, amazing dude. And in the book, he breaks down what would happen in a quarantine too, which is crazy. Because in quarantine back in Florida, right? Basically, I'm trying to make this out the easiest as it sounds. So the word Walmart, right? This is gonna be crazy. Walmart basically translates into martial law because I think mall translates into that Mars energy, and wall backwards is law. So it basically meant martial law, and it was saying that if anything happened, Walmart would be a place where they would start the training and stuff. So I read it, I was like, yo, this is too advanced for me. I don't know what he's talking about yet. Literally, as I'm going back to Florida to get in my stuff, Walmarts have army men going and getting them. And I was like, oh, snap, martial law. I was like, this is crazy. And that's when I knew it's about to pop off. And again, the universe shows you signs. It's divine timing. There's no such thing as coincidences. Everything happens for a reason, right? They're showing you. Everything I've been getting, I just receive it. I literally was at work the other day, and you know, at work, I be feeling, this is a little ego talking, but when I was at work, I'd be like, man, I ain't gonna talk to these people about nothing for real. They ain't on my level. I literally go out to the parking lot. The least, I can't even explain, the dude who you think don't know nothing out there spitting gems. I was like, yo, hold on, what you say? Because I read that in, literally, I was like, divine timing. Right, all the like-minded people coming together, and it was just crazy how that happened. Cause I was like, I would have never thought that. I would have never thought too. I'd be like, okay.
Wisdom has no
When you
look for
tap in,
age.
you draw more people who are tapped in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing at the site. It's amazing.
It is.
But I've also heard the saying that, you know, because basically, essentially what we're trying to do as a people is bring together a utopia. You know what I'm saying? Not the utopia that we've seen in every movie where the utopia is not a utopia at all. It's completely opposite, but a real utopia based on our guidelines as a people, right? Mm-hmm. And to build that utopia is simply unity, you know?
Yeah.
This is the real reconstruction, right? Love. This is the real reconstruction, right? The reconstruction they teach you about during the Civil War was everything, but it was just deconstructing us as a people. They play with you as a history too much. I'm sick of it, man. All I do is read so I can be like, yes, don't tell me them lies. I know what the real war was about. Don't play with me.
Right. Man,
like there are literally statements from Abraham Lincoln talking about the Moorish people in America, and ain't got nothing to do with the nonsense they talking about in America. I was reading that stuff like, wait a minute, so you, all right then. Like you might get a green card now. You kind of cool. And I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think land is important for our people, right? Having land that we can do what we own, and land cheap as a mug right now. I'm already broken down in my I was like, oh wow, 1,000, 2,000, tripping, man. Woo, you playing games with me right now. But I'm gonna have a farm so good, playing with me. Not only land, but everything that we need is coming out for us. Like I said, it's time to be self-sufficient and rely on each other. Because if you really want to break away from the system, we need to support Black businesses, right? Where your Black receipt at, man? Because I've been going to Black-owned businesses longer than I can remember. I've been like, oh, I'll be supporting my people daily, man. Where the vegan cafe at, man? Where it at? Don't be to it. Well, I was down in Wadada the other day. I was down in Wadada. Look, I was going nuts. I was like, can I get some vegan ice cream? Yes. Salted caramel.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
I
it is.
can't shoot ice cream.
I think a lot of people, I've learned that a lot of people have not been to Black-owned businesses in this time as well. Because they've been talking about it. I was like, have you been to this one? They was like, nah. I was like, bro, go ahead. It's the time, right? Educate yourself on your people. We're here for us, right? This is here for us. And then with the donations, so many donations have been crazy because they haven't been going to where they say they've been. You can easily go donate to your local business, right?
You went out again.
Oh. Killing me.
He's still out. Oh. I know you mad. Oh man, he was going in too.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. Gotta type in the chat.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back again.
Yeah, you back.
Bro, my internet on the fritz low key, man. I don't know what happened, bro. It was great. Like it was great all other, but you know, it has some times. My Wi-Fi, I don't know, man. It's not real. I be having one bar when I'm in the house. I be in the house with one bar sometimes. I'm like, I can't text you right now. But I don't even know what I was going so nuts. You know, you going in and you lose track because you just be like, you don't even know what you were saying, but you know it was good.
Right.
Yes.
Basically, I was saying just like black businesses in general, support for your own people should have been
You're out again.
Aaron, for quality's sake, you might need this brush.
Because they keep going out when you finna spit some gems. So that means you need to write a book or something.
Aw.
Man, you know we can't do that.
Same, Brody.
We'll wait till I come back.
Oh, well, there
Here
you
you
go.
go.
He said, "Ooh, wait till I come back."
Someone else speak in this meantime, right?
Bro, you good now.
We hear you.
All right, watch. 30 seconds from now, they're gonna play. It's gonna be 44 seconds from now. Watch, I promise you, 44 seconds.
I rebuke it.
Huh?
It won't
Take it
happen.
back.
Say it again.
Try again. Take it back. I rebuke that.
But yeah, you know, black businesses, right? Just the support needs to be there. It should be part of the black standard to do that already, right? We need a standard that our people already should abide by. Like that was been once I learned, I was like, black business, bet. Show me where. Show me. You know, I'll be buying my clothes from black businesses now. I'll be like, man, this drip right here, bro. It's made by my people. Let me go ahead. It's a herb shop down the street that's black owned. And boy, I be in there, like, you got some silver, you got some gold. Matter of fact, no silver, I make that. You got some gold, you got some XYZ, you got some spit. Bruh, who you telling? Health is just important in this new paradigm we going to too.
Very true. Very true.
As you said, Don, your analogy, you said your immune system, right? During COVID, right? I'm out here selling immune problem. I'm like, yo, come get some silver. People telling me, I ain't feeling good. Take some silver. What's that? Research, then come buy it from me.
Seriously.
Right?
Elderberries.
Right. Sea moss, bro. Sea moss. Woo, don't give me started on sea moss.
D3.
Mm-hmm.
Fish oil.
Right.
For anxiety, because I know I'm the impacts. I feel real bad because we feel literally everything. That anxiety, that feeling, it's like I don't know how to differentiate what I'm feeling and what the rest of the world around me is feeling. So I'm just feeling it all, and I'm sitting here.
Instant cure that's not mainstream. They'll mainstream all the stuff all the medications and pills and stuff, but the real herbs and nutrients you need, that stuff is in the back of the aisle, like.
Yo, when everything popped off with COVID, bro, the vegan aisles was full. I was like, it's a buffet again every day. Dang it. Oh, well, what am I going to do? Everybody else like, there ain't no meat. Well, come over here. And they like, nah, no thank you. I'm like, you tripping, bro. You better leave me alone. Y'all better come join me. Or at least try it. Don't make me feel, because I was thriving, you know? I was growing stuff. I was like, this zucchini in the yard looking mighty good right now. So I think I'm kind of straight. And even with that, the meat shortages, right, that was going on. The paradigm was shifting even in the food industry. That's telling you we're going into a whole new realm right now. Like, everything is changing. Nothing is going to be the same no more. I think people were catching on to that. Like, ain't nothing going back to normal. I was like, I don't know. Do I need to go to school next semester? Can I just lay off? Because they're going to roll it right back out. And I'm not coming back and forth again. I'm not catching flights no more. That's not it. And so.
And whether stuff gets better or worse after this is up to us.
Yep.
Literally, it's in our hands.
At
Gotta create our own stuff. Definitely. I feel like whenever you have to put Black owned in front of it, it was never meant for us.
Yeah.
So now it's just us rebuilding ourselves, rebuilding, something new, getting back to our roots. Because when I think about like our American economy, and when you look at what our ancestors did, we bartered, we shared. There was no buying and selling. No, it was, okay, you give me this, we can share. I give you a piece of my bread and we eat together.
Yeah, so let's build and let's have an actual exchange.
Right, and not just, I don't know.
Take what I know and then kill me.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody just want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to give.
Right.
Colonizer mentality, man.
I've been obsessed with
That's really what it is.
my status lately. Like the last 2 weeks, I've just been, let me claim my status so I can get me some land that my ancestors truly own, so I can walk on it, claim it, then grow some food and trade it with some other people that came. They said, it's like, hey, I got some cabbage. What you got? You got some potatoes? Oh, bad, bro. I need that right there.
Right.
And I think when I was studying claiming your status, because there's not really a term for it from my research, just like claiming your indigenous status here in this land known as America, you literally, nothing else applies to you. The name, that social security card goes away. The land that was on you, like it could be a house on the land that some of your ancestors own. You can walk on, oh, nice house, it's mine now. Literally, because it was owned by your ancestors. And of course, that process is kind of lengthy, but it shows just by proving you was here first and that this is your land, you could just, none of that applies to you no more. You ain't got to pay for nothing. You don't need no driver's license. You don't need a social security, right? The power is just within claiming, just proving that you was here, right? It's just, I was here before. Oh, sure enough, man, my bad. Look, all this is yours.
Yeah, seriously.
Which,
I want my reparations.
yeah, I was about to say, that leads me to the topic of reparations before we close out. So what is everyone's stance on reparations?
My ticket to Africa. That's what I want.
Because me personally, I think reparations are cool, but I think reparations are always still like a leash, right?
Yeah.
Because I can't trust you to give me reparations. You couldn't even give me 40 acres and a mule. So why would I trust you to pay me in cash, right? This the same country that traded minerals for some paper and ate $1. You traded gold, silver, and copper for some paper? You crazy? By definition, currency is gold and silver. Why would you crazy? Y'all already playing games. And I was always, at reparations to me, I felt like, again, it's a way to silence you, right? I look back at when the Japanese Americans got paid reparations after World War II regarding those concentration camps they put in. Now, they are pretty much silent. Not all of them, but I'm saying a lot of them have been silenced, right? Like, you don't always catch them speaking out on not many issues at all. And I felt like the reparations they pay, I think it was almost to like $1 billion. They was like, okay, here you go. I don't want to hear from you no more. Keep it zip, shut, throw it away. And I feel like reparations is a leash. Like, all right, we gave it here. Stop talking, right? Stop with all this nonsense. And it's just like, just for some change, I don't need your, personally, I feel like I don't need it. I feel like my ancestors would be like, I don't take nothing from them. Just go back and this is yours. Like, again, that's why I felt like status was important. Because if you can prove it, you don't even need the reparation. They give it to you.
Somebody actually did the calculations on how much the reparations would be, and it's like over 300K. You really think they finna give all that money to every single Black person? No, that's not about to happen. Even though they have the means to do so, but it's not about to happen.
Right.
Seeing what money does to people, and like for me, it's like there's no amount of numerical cash that can, like, pay back, all the people they've buried, all the people they've taken, all the lives they destroyed, all the things they've taken from us. There's no fundable amount that they're even willing to begin to give up that can just erase all years and years of pain and suffering. So at this point, it's like reparations just seems like a novelty to me. So
Right.
Bro, then you gonna have them coons that's talking about some, oh, they gave us money. Well, maybe they aren't so bad. I don't want to fight y'all no more.
We saw what the stimulus check did to people. People forgot all about the virus and everything. They was willing to go out and buy some stuff.
Yo, people buying J's with their stimulus. I'm like, you an idiot.
Put that somewhere way better than shoes, my guy. Like
you care about shoes and this? I ain't bought a pair of shoes in 3 years. Quit playing. I just keep washing them. They look nice. They look clean. They look new. They look like they came out the box still.
But thing is, though, some of these people have actual economic problems. And that money can went somewhere more, make them more stable. But they're like, you know what? These just released, and I could be the freshest nigga out here. Like
these $10 shoes. The material is worth $10.
They're made for like $1 a piece.
I used to be one of them people, especially in middle school, man. I apologize to my parents all the time. $200 on some LeBron shoes. I don't even wear them no more, man. And I look at it now. I hear people talking about shoes. I'm like, bro, I can make some shoes for $3, bro. Don't even play with it's literally how much it costs. Probably less, and they making off of it just by selling you and putting a name brand on it. If you can spend $200 on some shoes but can't spend $200 in a black business, you can't come to the utopia because clearly your
priorities are mixed up.
Little off on.
You are not invited to the cookout.
Yo, literally.
Right. Tell them.
You're gonna be like, what's your name? I'm like, what'd you buy last week? Some shoes. Go ahead and stop you there, sir. Let me talk to you.
Supreme what? Nope. Give him he's out.
Kick him out. Kick him out the classroom, bro.
Hey.
But man, this was some gym dropping stuff right here, man. I always love having these deep, intense discussions that help open the mind, right?
You've been talking for what? How long? What, about an hour and some more?
Hour and some change. This might be our longest episode. Our episodes been getting longer now each time. So
got more to say. More is happening. We're getting better and better at this, communicating this information.
One day we're gonna be on the real lecture status, 6 hours, right? We're gonna be eating in the lectures. You know how I go. Be like, and back in. And so that's the goal right there.
Taking power now.
Love to see it.
Right. But
so I got a question.
Yeah.
So I strongly believe, I feel like y'all gonna agree that we're all born here with an expiration date, and the only thing that's promised while we're here is that we're gonna go through something. Like bliss is not guaranteed for anybody on this earth in this lifetime. The only thing that's guaranteed is that you're gonna see something. And you're going to feel pain. You're going to feel some type of pain in some type of way, shape, or form. So wouldn't that make life, death, and death life?
There we go. Back to duality, right? Everything essentially.
That's how I see it a lot. Because I don't believe that the universe is going to punish me if I make a mistake. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm here. To learn and grow and do whatever I was sent here to do. I believe I was sent here to create art and be a voice for people who feel like they are voiceless. So I'm gonna do that by any means. But also, while I'm here, I'm gonna go through things that are gonna change the way that I see the world. They're gonna change the way that I think. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna also be happy because I'm gonna make sure that I find bliss in this life. I'm going to make sure that this life isn't a living hell. But for some people, it is. And their idea of peace would be not being here. On this physically being here. But in your spirit, you're at your ultimate. Wouldn't you? When you're in your spirit, you're at your ultimate. That is you and all your ancestors. That is the new you. And then that's where it's like, okay, are you gonna have to go back to earth again to relearn your lesson because you didn't learn your lesson? Or are you gonna level up and start a new lesson?
That's where the whole idea of reincarnation came from, right? You ever see an animal and you know it's one of your family members, bro? It was literally, bro, it's this deer my mom used to see all the time. every time the deer would cross the road, it was stopping him. And I'm like, bro, move. My mom was like, no, that's Auntie Regina. I'd be like, who? I'd be like, wait, huh? And so it's this one bee. Look, it's crazy because I knew it's this one bee. I go outside and chill every day when I get the chance. And this one bee who always busting in my face. I'm like, who are you? I'm like, you came back. What'd you do wrong? Like, every day he come and buzz right next to me. And I'm like, so who are you?
Who are you really? Who are you? Yes.
One of my ancestors kicked a dent in one of my people's cars, so that's a thing. But yeah.
I don't know. This is something that keeps me up real late. Like, what is this really? Is this really happening right now in this space, in this time? Is any of this even real for real? Or is this all...
It's like a video game. Like,
yes.
Literally in a video game, you keep losing, you keep making the wrong decision, and they're going to take you back to the checkpoint until you figure out whatever you've been doing wrong and do something different. And when you do something different, that's when you get to the next level.
So who's to say that wrong decision was really a wrong decision?
I was thinking more like a card is, right? Like on the table, right? So, the life gives you the cards you dealt. And it's up to you whether you got the option. You can keep on playing. You keep on losing. You keep on playing till you kick from the table. You can gain something to stay there, just not go for any harder. You can keep on playing and see as high as you can get, and then keep that high. It's like it's what you do with what you're given. To me,
I'm gonna do some magic tricks.
Yeah, that's Don. Don gonna keep him table because he ain't playing the game right.
People in every culture, the question of what's the meaning of life comes up constantly, and truthfully, we really can't know for sure until after we already gone. So you just really got to come here, do what you feel like your purpose is. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is. Do what you feel like your purpose is. Do it to the best of your ability. Just live life. Experience all that life has to offer for you.
Life is, if we're all living for this small amount of time.
People who feel like they don't have that option.
They don't have the option to live life?
Because from what I'm noticing about all of us, I feel like we were raised or we found our own way. Either we were raised being able to have a free mind and a free heart and free spirit, or we learned that over time. Other people have not. So what advice would you give to people who have never heard anything? Like, these are conversations that will put people in mental institutions.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy because you gotta dig inward for yourself. Because there was a time where I question myself a lot. I'm constantly, whenever I make a decision, I'm constantly thinking, well, that's the right way to go. Am I doing this right? Did I do something wrong? If I do something wrong, how would that affect me? So I'm just always thinking. It's a point where I was at a low point. I had to rebuild myself from the bottoms up again to get back where I was wanted to be. So I don't feel like you can get to your lowest point. Once you hit your lowest point, it's only up from there. You gotta look at it like that. It's optimistic standpoint.
It's crazy because, like, back to what you said about music, right? The thing, because I think, Don, you can tell, because we were on the same bus when it happened. Like, for me, what actually got me into all this knowledge was, like, originally conspiracy theories I used to hear in songs by my favorite artist, B.O.B. And I used to be like, hold on, wait, the Earth? I used to be saying crazy stuff, man. I used to be like crazy. But everything that literally brought me from the path, just listening to songs on the bus, into reading books day and night. Wake up, read. Go to sleep, read. Wake up with a book on my face. Like, did I read this last night? My spirit must have been flipping pages. Like.
That's right.
I feel like for everybody, there comes a point where that sense of knowing or that sense of purpose comes to you. For some people, that's 3 seconds before their deathbed. For some people, it may come, but they don't act on it. So there's a point for everybody where it comes. It's just a matter of, is your spirit ready to take you there yet? Or do you still need time? Do you need to be reincarnated in a different life form to realize that, okay, I've been through this. I gotta change something. So I think there's a time where everybody has that second of knowing. Yeah. And they're going to get to it. And if you haven't got to it yet, you will.
No matter
Your destiny comes to you, but you can choose to, you can accept it, you can ignore it, you can run from it. But it's still always going to be there. And some people accept it, I believe, later than it was supposed, later than they could have, and that because time is limited. So I believe search for your calling as early as possible and begin acting on it from then, because you don't know how much time you have on this plane at this moment. So.
See, I've always thought it's time. Well, my opinion on time changes like every day because I'm always finding something that just blows my mind. Because I used to be like, time isn't real. But I was like, no, time is universal law. And I was like, I am time. Or like, I be going crazy. So now I think that the future is just past events that we just haven't experienced yet. Because everything is happening at the same time. Like, there is no break in time. Time doesn't stop for anything. It just goes. It's alive almost. You know what I'm saying? So people always trying to run away from their fate. It's just like it's like you trying to go down the elevator that's going up. Like what's the point of pressing the button? You already going up.
Right.
No use in fighting it.
And then the way the body reacts to things, right? It's some things that you've never experienced before, but your body reacts as if you've already experienced it. That's why I feel like everything that's going to happen to you has already happened. You just have, the mind just hasn't caught up to it yet. Like, oh, it's coming up. You're like, what you talking about? Your stomach churning. You're like, what's coming on? It's like, it's coming. I'm telling you, just wait on it. You got like 3 more seconds, and boom, you hit. Like, whoa, right?
Should listen.
Right, like deja vu. I felt like deja vu was always like a glitch in the matrix. Like, oh, we messed up. Make sure they don't remember. And then I would wake up some days and remember doing this exact same thing and be like, whoa.
What is about to happen?
Yeah,
like before, something like that. Like,
it's crazy. Because even this podcast that we started back in January, I had a vision back in like November of like an episode we was doing about a month ago. And I was recording the episode, and I was like, Roger about to say this next. And he said it, and I was like, oh man, I was just sitting there quiet, like, whoa, what is going on? I was like, this is crazy. But you remember it so vividly, and you remember it until you don't remember what comes next. So you'll be remembering this part, then that part happened. You're like, I didn't get to this part yet. Oh, snap. And it's just like, whoa.
It's about to go down.
But, I'm just thinking about what you said earlier, because I know a lot of people are going through things in life, and I know there's countless people out there that, going through things that are actually like really, really tough. People have no end in sight. They just feel like, everything's going wrong for them. Nothing's going right. I feel like that nobody can look to an outside source for what they're looking for. I feel like nobody can, deliver you from the pain that you're feeling. Nobody can tell you what's right for you. I feel like the only person that really knows what's going to be right for you, the only person that's really going to be able to show you and tell you how to get out of whatever you're going through and how to, build yourself back up is you. So, that's why I encourage people to, really look within themselves for what they're searching for, because a lot of times people searching in places, that aren't going to give them anything. The place you need to be searching for is with you every second of the day. And that's yourself.
No one gonna save you but you.
Look, seriously, but you have to know, you have to be able to admit that you need saving.
Right. You can't always be looking for someone to save you. That's what I think some people are doing now. They're looking for like, who's gonna be that next person that rise up? Like, no, save yourself, right? Don't go looking for the savior. You are your own savior, because your path to enlightenment is not the same. There's no guidebook to enlightenment. There's no, well, see, what you got to do is stir the tea and then you put it in a flat. No, it's different for everyone. Everyone has their own path to it. Everyone comes in it through a different way. Like mine, mine started from conspiracy theories in a song. I was like, is that real? And it literally years just looking it up. Then I'm going into occult stuff, and I'm over here like, I don't think I'm ready for this. And then 2 years later, I found myself back at the same site. I'm like, oh, you again, huh? It's been a minute, huh? I understand you now.
They got that, like Rapunzel, damsel in distress mentality. Like, if I just wait here long enough with my team grinning and happy with a hope, something will come and take me out of my situation. Like, no, you gotta get yourself out. That's the biggest thing people are like in denial about. Like, no one can determine or do this for you. You gotta do it yourself.
And that's just one of those things that's a lot easier said than done, but
definitely,
that's life.
Nothing worth fighting for is given easy.
Mm-hmm. I think it's time we gotta wrap this up. What y'all think?
Boy,
yeah.
2 hours worth of
sit here and talk to y'all all night.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours worth.
It's sunset out here, boy. So yeah,
that's got a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
But make sure y'all can go ahead and drop y'all info one more time for the people that made it to this deep in the episode. Go ahead. This when you eating, right? This when you eating and was like, yeah. So such and such was saying.
So IG's information, what y'all do?
All that.
Oh snap! Okay, guys can follow me on Instagram at Ankprana. All of my social media is Ankprana. That's ANKH or PRANA on all social media. Ankprana.
You can also follow me on my Instagram, Sydney Oshuna. You can also follow the Young Women's Circle, which is a restoration process for young women. We already have women in Georgia, New York, Chicago, people from all over just joining us to talk about problems happening for women and, how we're going to fix it. Also, if you're a youth, if you like making music or film, we have the Mobile Movie Makers Competition, and we're taking submissions until August 31st.
You're beautiful. You're just beautiful. And I love it.
I think you love.
That note, y'all, Pharaohs, y'all know the outro. Y'all know the deal.
From dance to kings.
From kings to gods.
Phresh Pharaoh Entertainment.